Good day, this is Mystic Twin. Today we are going to be designing a simple flyer. We're going to be learning how to design a simple flyer. Now there was a particular design I did, and I would like us um learn how I would like to guide us through the steps it took me to make that flyer. It's just a simple flyer. It's a work a client gave me to work on. We have prayed, God has answered. Now let's vote P2B. Now this is just a simple flyer that has different elements. This one here is an image, this is a text, this one behind is an image, also ones here they are images, then this is an image, this is an image. So these are just different elements that I put together to get this simple flyer done. So we are going to be doing exactly this flyer in this particular tutorial. So the first thing we are going to be doing is to download the image of this man here. This man here is P2B, so we'll be downloading his image first. That's the first thing we're going to be doing. And to do that, okay, this particular video will guide you through. We'll touch we'll touch many parts. So the first part we'll be looking at is how to download an image from the internet. Maybe you want to work on an image on the internet, how to download the image. So the first thing you're going to do is to launch your browser. Launch your browser. I'm working on the Google Chrome browser. So just launch your browser, go to Google, and type P2B on your Google. P2B on your Google. This images here will show. When you type P2B, on your Google, show like you just go to images. These images will show. The first image was the one I used for that flyer. The first image. So once you just click on the image, it will show like this. Once it shows like this, right click on image, go to open image in new tab. The reason I'm clicking open image in new tab is so that when so that the if I can save directly like this. But when I save directly like this, the I will not get the full size of this image, the full resolution of this image. To have this image in a very good resolution, I will open the image in new tab. And once the image opens, I have the full size of the image like this, so I can now save here. Once it opens, go to that new tab, right click on save image as, and save your image, in a particular location. So I'm saving my own in my downloads folder. After clicking it, just click save, and your image will save. Once you've saved your image, you launch your photoshop. After launching your Photoshop, you import that image into Photoshop. Okay, first of all, the first thing before you import your image, you open a new file for that particular design. Now you can do that by going to file, new, or you click on your Ctrl+N button. So I'm going to be opening a new file. Let's call the file name Peter Obi. Then the width of my document, okay, I want it to be a square design because it's for online purposes. So it will be 1300 pixels by 1300 pixels. My resolution is 300. Then everything is in place. Then I click OK. So this is my file name P2B. So this is the new file for our work. So you are going to be importing that image into this new file. We are going to be importing that image into this new file. To do that, there are two ways of doing that. The first way is to either you go to your file open, or you press on your Ctrl+O button. So once you click your open, now after this when you click on your open, you will have to locate the place you saved that file when you saved it from your browser. The place you saved it. Remember, I saved my own in my downloads folder. So I'll go to my downloads folder where it was saved and locate the file. This is the file P2B1. So when I click on the file, I will click on open. the image will open like this. After it has opened like this, I will drag it. Make sure your move tool is being activated. Once your move tool is activated, just click anywhere in the document, drag it like this and put it inside this file you are working on, and bring it here. Click on yes, then your image will enter your file. Then you can close this one. Either you do it like this, or another way of doing it, go to file, go to import. Okay, go to file, go to place embedded, file, place embedded. Locate where you save that image, click on the image and click place. So the image will come there automatically. There's no need opening a new file then dragging it. This is another way of putting, if importing an image to your file. This is another way. Another way of doing it again is just to open your file explorer. Just open your file explorer, locate where you save that file. I saved it in my downloads, and this is the file, and I will just drag it like this. Drag the file, drag the image into my Photoshop. Just drag it directly into my Photoshop. It will enter like that. So these are the possible ways of importing an image your Photoshop um, into your Photoshop document, so that you can work on them. So I'm going to be working on either of these pictures here, so I'll work on this one. Remember, this is our design. This is the design we're working on. Now if you look at this design, this image doesn't have background, but this image here has background, a gray background. So the first thing we're going to be doing is to learn how to crop out this background here, so that we can have just the image, so that we can use it to do our work. And I would like us to pay close attention here, because when you get this right, I can assure you that you've gotten something in this video. So the tool we'll be using to remove the background of this image, is your lasso tool. When you click on this lasso tool, you see the group of tools there. We have the lasso tool, polygonal lasso tool, and magnetic lasso tool. They have their different functions. This magnetic lasso tool, when I click on it, it will be giving me the selection automatic. It will be selecting automatically. Like you can just click and be taking your mouse. So the system will be selecting it automatically for you. It's just like an automatic selection. I'm just taking my cursor around it. That's what I'm just doing. I'm not clicking anything. I'm just taking my cursor around it. So it's called magnetic. As you're taking it, it will be magneting the selection. That's just what I'm doing. So you can see that's just what I'm doing. I'm just taking my cursor around this selection. And once I get to the ending, I can click. So it will make a selection around like this. That's for the magnetic lasso. Now, for this polygonal lasso, I'll be the one to make the selection myself. Now, if you want to crop a picture, the best tool that can be recommended is your polygonal lasso, not your magnetic lasso. Because magnetic lasso, it is the system that decides the place to crop. It is the system. If you can, as you see, as I was taking the as I was taking the magnetic lasso around the image, it was the system that was deciding where to select. But your polygonal lasso, you'll be the one to select it yourself and select it where you want to select. So that is why polygonal lasso is what is advised. It's advised. So we'll be using polygonal lasso to crop this image. Okay, before talking of polygonal lasso, let's look at this magic wand. Is also another tool to remove background. This magic wand, just click on any place in the background. It will make that selection like this. It's called magic wand. tool. Just click on any place. As you can see, I clicked here and it's selected part of the glass. You can see all these tools here. It is the system that decides the place to select. It is the system that decides. But for that is why we always use polygonal lasso for our removal of background. So we'll be using polygonal lasso for this particular image to remove the background. To do that, first thing you must make sure your zoom tool is use your zoom tool. I activated the zoom tool by pressing my Z on my keyboard and to zoom the edge of your work. The reason I'm zooming in is so that I can see the edge properly, so that I can have a perfect cut. I can have a perfect cut. So once I zoom in, I'll click on my polygonal lasso tool and just click on any of the edge. I can decide to start from here, I can decide to start from anywhere, but let's start here. What we'll just be doing is to click and drag, click, drag, click, drag, click, drag, click, drag. So it's just like you're tracing his image out. So I'll click, drag, click and drag, click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. So that's just what you'll be doing for this image. Now you'll be doing it you do it carefully. I'm rushing like this because of I don't want this video to take a long time, and it's I'm this um perfect because I've been doing this ever since. So I will advise you that you take your time to do it so that you have a perfect cut. A perfect cut. So you are just clicking and dragging around the image. Click and drag, click and drag. So that's just what we'll be doing here. I so when you understand images very well and how it works, I can assure you that you will do well as a graphic designer. So we are clicking and dragging. We are clicking and dragging. Images form a very good ground in giving your work a sweet look. A sweet look. Many people don't know how to use images in their design, and even if they apply good images, it won't come out well in their design. Many people don't know how to crop image, and when you see what they crop out, it will be looking one kind. So when you master how to crop images very well and master it, there are some images that when you look at it, you will not even know that this image was cropped. It will be as if it was originally placed in that background because the person that cropped it did it well. So you just click and drag around the image. Now I've gotten to the end of the image here. I'll just take it to this place. Then once you get to the last place, once you get to the place you started, if you watch on this my polygonal lasso tool, if you watch at the right hand side down of the tool, you see a little cycle there. So it's showing you that you've gotten to the point where you started from. Once I click there, a selection will be made. So I'll just press my Ctrl plus 0 to zoom to fit. So a selection will look at the selection we made. This was the same selection that this my magnetic lasso made. So but we are using polygonal lasso to make this same selection for ourselves. So after making this selection, what you just do is to press your Ctrl plus J on your keyboard, or if you are using um Mac operating system, you press your Command plus J, Ctrl plus J as in J for Jesus. So you press your Ctrl plus J. Once I press my Ctrl plus J, if you are very observant very well, you will see that a new layer was formed. A new layer was formed. Look at the one we were working on before. Immediately I press my Ctrl plus J, a new layer was formed in the layer window. So this layer that was formed is the place that I cut out of this image. Is the place that was selected. That selection I made was the principle what happened here is that I'm telling the system to cut out this layer from this selection, to cut it out of this image and form a new layer or a new image from this particular image, and that new image to form will be this selection, just like you are cutting an image out of an image, something like that. So if you watch my layer here, my layer window here, once I press Ctrl J, a new layer will be formed. So let's deactivate this particular layer. You can see now that we have our image, we have our image completely cropped. So that is how to crop an image. We'll continue this video in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you.